carried away, doggy. It's all up there. And this has got a bite. Get it! Get it! Welcome to Fishing Squad. Well, just off up onto the deep water rock mark just to catch some bait. Got a session later on. Well, it's just to make sure we don't struggle for bait. Got the taupe session later on today. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Nearly 2 hours before low tide. Hour and a half, 2 hours before low tide. So I'm expecting to get plenty of mackerel. I've just got a bag with a reel, 3 leads, 3 sets of feathers, a knife, a couple of bags, carrier bags. Hoping to get some for breakfast as well. So we'll do a bit of a catch and cook. I might not be able to show you too much with filleting. Try and show you a little bit because I haven't got my tripod with me. Yeah, I'm expecting a bumper roll of mackerel this morning. They seem to be here in force at the moment around this area after a slow start to the season. So we're going to get some for bait, we're going to get some for breakfast. I've got some old mackerel in the freezer that I'm going to make into a chum for taupe. Obviously any bits of skeleton, guts that we get out of the ones we eat, that'll be coming back up with us. So I'm going to make a big chum up for shark fishing later. So yeah, we'll see you at the mark. Tripod, but I'm going to attempt to get some video footage. I think that might be the best position to do it. I don't know. Right, I think that might get some footage. Right, I've had a few casts. I haven't caught anything yet. I'm fishing with some homemade feathers that I've made. If you're looking, yeah, I'm fishing with some homemade feathers. Made out of crisp packet and amnesia line with some old hooks and some beads. Obviously, until you start catching on something new, it's to have confidence in. If you look through our videos, there's a video where I made some homemade feathers. Onto a shop boat rig. First cast I've caught one. I think what it is, there's 5 feathers on this one. Mine had 3. I'm just hanging down that bit deeper in water on 5th hook, bottom hook. It's got me a fish. Maybe that's something I need to look at, I don't know. So anyway, that's one fish already, nice one. Say, you've got no divine right to catch them. But if they're here, they're here. I think we've got more than one on this time. Good before. Yeah, we've got more than one on, definitely. Yeah, we've got a string full. That's what you want. Fresh mackerel. 4. Right, I'm just going to knock the camera off while I dispatch him. Then we'll have a go for a few more. Session I managed 10. The homemade feathers really didn't work. I don't think it's a case of they won't work. I'll say that they didn't work. I think what it might have been, the shoal didn't come round while I was using them. I think that's all it was, simple as that. But we've got 10 in total, so we're going to keep probably 3 for breakfast between us, and then the rest is going to go use for taupe bait later. That's a good one for eating, probably that one. Got 1. I'm going to keep 3 for eating. 2. 3. I think that's about right. Let's see what we've got in this bag. We'll keep 4 for eating, just to make sure we've got enough. So, right, that's a bag full of bait there. So what's the best way to go to filter mackerel? I mean, you've seen me do it in videos before. So you need a sharp knife. This is a sidewinder knife. I bought it from Cricket Tackle Box. It's an absolute razor blade. I'm just going to give it a rinse. Don't be scared to use the rock pulls to rinse anything down here, because they're clean. Any rock mark on the limping insert or angle, see? Or the end of the linen or angle, should I say. You can rinse your fish in the rock pools as long as they've been washed out by fresh tide water at high tide. Like all these rock pools here, because it's low tide. Spin your knife and run it along the backbone at a slight angle so it cuts the flesh off the backbone. Now, I've done a video about catching and cooking mackerel before and filleting. This is with fresh mackerel that's just been caught. Look at that, totally different. And I stick by the washing it in salt water rather than fresh, because the flesh holds together better and it tastes better. So again, down to the backbone on the other side. It helps if your knife's like razor sharp. I've recently just bought this knife. It's the first time I've used it for filleting. It's absolutely like a razor blade. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Look at that. Straight off. So with this skeleton, I'm just going to put them to one side because I'm going to bag them up as well, because they're going in a chum later. So put your fillets, just keep your fillets to one side as you do each fish. Again, in behind the head, down to the backbone. Just turn your knife, slightly angle the knife, just the slightest angle, just so it's pointing down to the backbone, and run it along. Try not to skim the backbone. Try and make sure you get deep enough down so it takes the flesh off the backbone. It can take a bit of practice, but that's the basic method. Again, on this side, if you have to take them home to fillet them, if you haven't got the facilities to fillet it where you're fishing, because it might be not very clean sort of thing, the rocks might not be as clean as these, then gut them first, at least gut them at the mark. There's another one done. Sometimes it's not always, you know, it takes practice to get them perfect. I didn't do very well with that last one just there on one of the sides. This is a nice, bit of a bigger mackerel, this one. Yeah, if you get sharp knife's key. Look at that, you can see backbone clearly there all the way down. Same again, in behind the back of the head, down to the backbone. Take your knife, just run it along. Nice and gently. See, on some bits of that I've come up a little bit. Still got a nice fillet off it, but it's just something to bear in mind. I've like left a little bit of meat on the backbone. It can, to me, like this, doing it this way, I think it's this way, I'm comfortable doing it this way because I'm right-handed. When I go back the other way, I struggle a bit. I could have done better with that one. I've got backbone all the way down. But this is how quick and easy it is to fillet mackerel when you've got a sharp knife. But having a sharp knife, sometimes you can't feel backbone because your knife's that sharp it can cut through it, if you know what I mean. Like, I struggle going that way, but fish is the other way around. I've still managed to get a fillet off, but look, I've still got a little bit of meat there, not much. I'm happy with how it's been filleted. So right, I'm going to try and save all these guts. I'm going to put them to one side. Right, the next bit, what I like to do is I like to wash them in a rock pool. Pick a rock pool down at the tide line, wash them in the rock pool. And what we're looking for, well, we'll do it here actually before we wash it. We'll take this out, right? Go in behind you'll just rub your knife down there like that on a slight angle, and you'll feel the rib cage. If you've got a sharp knife, you should be able to cut that out like that. Put it in with them. You want all that black membrane out as well, so cut that out. Basically, when I get these back, it'll be like buying meat from the butchers. You'll just be able to put it straight in your frying pan. Again with this one, feel for the top of the ribs on the rib cage. Just try not to cut towards yourself like you're doing, Carl. Get in behind it. Just cut them. Just tease it off if you like. If you just look at it as if the aim is to get the black membrane off by skimming your knife underneath across it, you should hit the rib bones anyway, so you should be able to take them out no problem. These are going to be beautiful. They'll be like eating tuna this morning. It's going to be that fresh. Again, it's the same again, basically. Yeah, if you go down to skin, it don't really matter. I'm just trying to, if you wanted to, you could just slice that there and cut it all off, but I like to just try and use as much of them. If I'm eating them, I like to use as much of it as I can. And that's why occasionally I do skim it down to skin like I've done there. It's not a big deal. I'm just trying to use as much as I can. Next bit is just put all fillets in a clean rock pool that's been washed out by the tide. Don't use any that haven't been, that look a bit suspect. Someone might have peed in them. So you're just giving it just rubbing all blood out of it. Look, it depends if what you're used to having, right? You don't want to have too much blood in them because the taste can be overpowering. You want to rush all the blood out. What I do is I use one rock pool to just give them a rub down in, and I'll use another one over here just to finish off giving them a rinse. If you don't want to take the rib bones out, you can also rub the black membrane off in the rock pools. Like I've got a bit of black membrane still on one of the fillets there, you'll see. Just here, but in water, it should rub out. Or pull off anyway, you'll be able to pull it off. It's just a bit bitter to taste, that black membrane. So we do that, and what we do is we put on a rock, just drain a little bit. Oh. Just drain all the water off before you bag them up. A bit more black membrane on that one, look. Missed. It comes off easy in water. Well, it can be fiddly, but it does come off easy. It's a lot easier than what it would be without. Look at them, fresh mackerel, fresh as. That is just going to go a bit more black membrane on that one as well. But cutting rib cage out, what I found is it does make it one hell of a lot easier to get that black membrane off. So yeah, I'll leave them like